Hey everybody, I'm Eric, N1JUR, and today we're going to get into another battery box build. This one's going to be a little different because we're not going to be building it with an Apache case. Don't get me wrong, these things are great platforms to build some really cool designs, and there are a bunch out there. So if you're here to check out another one of these, well, you might want to go find a different channel, because we're going to toss the box and we're going to build it on a tough built box from Lowe's. So come with me and let's get into the build. Let's talk about the parts that are going to go into my ultimate battery box build. I took a lot of feedback and input in building a battery box. I wanted to build something that would rival a lot of the typical Harbor Freight design. The foundation to this whole entire build is going to be the tough built battery box that I've picked up at Lowe's. Installed all of the necessary connections on the front and back for USB and power poles, as well as a master cutoff switch and solar. To a distribution block. There's a 50 amp hour positive fuse holder and case. And then I went with the Jenison controller here, the GBO10, and I've got a sundry of connectors, color-coded power poles, additional 3D printed power pole plugs. I then got 10 gauge red and black wire, 6 gauge red and black wire as well, with all the crimps. Bought the crimping ferrule kit here to be able to crimp ferrules on for easy connections to battery screw type terminals, like in the Jenison and a few others. I also created inside my case false floor. And on the bottom of this, you can see that I've got some metal standoffs, and all of the dimensions from the bottom of the case to the floor are adequate enough airflow, and hide all my wires. I didn't want another battery box that I've seen where the wires are everywhere and kind of it looks like a bomb. I wanted something that was serviceable so I could easily get at it if I needed to change something out or modify, or 1/8 PLA here, and cut out my own second that just fit nicely in the box and provided some rigidity for the battery to sit on top of and not crush the components below. Let's take all this now and get the box on the bench, and let's start getting into wiring this up. One of my favorite things in any build to do is destruction. Some say it's my middle name, but that's debatable. One of the things with this box is it comes with a whole bunch of other plastic dividers and containers and holders to, make it kind of useful. But with my build today, you're just going to cut all that crap out. There's no need for it. It's just extra space, and it's going to cause you a lot more headache when you're trying to mount things, if those little nubs and plastic, pieces that are jutting out are in the way. So crack out your favorite cutoff wheel or Dremel tool, get a nice sharp blade, put on some safety glasses, just speaking from experience here, and you might need a flashlight or two to get in there to see some of the darker spaces, but perform your best attempt at surgery and get all those plastic pieces ground down so they're flat and out of the way. Okay, so now we're going to work on some of my measuring and cutting handiwork here. As we kind of go through all of the layout here, you're going to find that I am not a precision cutter here, and so I've made an allotment on this design to give me enough wiggle room to cut back
if I need to get it to fit just right on the case. Now, like I said, this floor is going to be supported pretty much on its own with a number of metal standoffs on the bottom. And it's designed for one and one purpose only. Again, to really just hide all the wires. I am one of those people that just don't like messy boxes and really like things very cleanly. And so, as you can tell, I overcompensated in this design, and I'm going to definitely have to square it off now so all sides are equal, and then I can drill the holes out that I need to install the appropriate metal standoffs there. But, you know, your mileage may vary and you might have a different approach. Well, let's get into the layout here. I struggled a little bit trying to figure out what the best kind of mix for, setting up these ports. And, I think what I'm going to do is, I won't mount them to the top and I can't mount them to the bottom. Let's just start with the power switch here. So it seems to be the easiest, and, I think it's the coolest looking one. And, stop fiddling with that solar port there, man. Just leave it there. It's perfect there. Don't touch it. And, that's too close. You're going to want to be able to put 3 on the back of this box, my friend. That is a piece of hard plastic. You're brilliant. You're smart. So, all right, I'm going to get into drilling holes here. So wish me luck. Of course, if I put the drill in the right orientation, and there we go. I got one nice clean hole. Looking pretty good. All right. Now, I only have one shot here to make this work. So, hey, wow. Nice job there, buddy. You got it. And it looks like it's in good. Yep. No, it's a little bit off, but hey, you can always back and fix that. Oh, he's already ahead of the game here. He's already put 2 power pole ports here and going for the third one. Man, it's looking good. Not bad for an micrometer measurement there. As I can imagine that I am not going to have a rectangular boring bit to be able to put that. How are you going to get that in there, you knucklehead? Well, it looks sort of nice there. Just remember, you got to cut it short. So, okay. You aren't as dumb as you look. So, best thing to do here is just, trace it out, dude. Oh, all right, cool. Oh, don't overcut. Don't overcompensate. You can go too much with an angle grinder. Hello? Hey, are you... All right, well, okay. Now, you got to put a couple of screws in there to make that permanent. Good man. Oh, cool. We're on to putting the Drake, or Droke, I should say, monitor system in the front there. Okay. Apparently, you're a very skilled handyman there. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, good with the knife. This plastic was really tough, man. I don't know about you, but it is a very strong, thick plastic, and everything, it looks pretty good, man. Not bad. Good fit. Everything, maybe. Okay. All right. Well, good as government work, as they say. Well, there is the base. As you saw, I squared it all off and created a small little finger hole there so I could pull that out. But you can see that there's a little space on either side of the case where it molds to the corners there. And I think that's a good fit. So let's dive into some of the parts here. You've got the solar controller there, right there. Yep. Okay. And then, I'm going to run some power up to there. Good job. Yep. Okay. And that's going to be for the cutoff switch. Yep. Good job. Then that's going to run from there down the wall over to the big fuse, 50 amp fuse. Very, very pretty fuse. And that's going to sit there nicely. And then that's going to loop around to the distribution block. And that distribution block's going to have all the pretty wires attached to it. Oh, yeah, you got to write the power. Yep, run the power from both of those sides, correct, to the appropriate power pole ports. Yep, good job. Which you already pre-drilled. Nice job. Already installed. Finally. Okay. All right, well, we're starting to crimp the ends here on the power poles so we can get those fed appropriately from the back of the box. And those are going to run right down through the... where are you going? Oh. All right, you got to remember, what's the rule? Red on right. Where's red right now? It's on left. You're going to regret that later. You know you're going to regret that later. That goes on the right. Stay tuned, because he's going to go back later and fix it. I guarantee it. But, like I said, we're following the contours of the box, and we're cutting wires and making everything look pretty here. And hopefully, yeah, you're going to have to split that wire. Oh, okay, good. You're getting it. And then now it's time to crimp on your fork ends there and cut back some of the excess wire there. Make sure it all looks pretty. Looking good. You're still going to have to fix that power pole, my friend. It is not in the right orientation. No, that's still not the right orientation. Let's go. Put it in the right side. Right is red. Yes, I will have to go back and fix those power poles again so they appropriately line up. We all learn the hard way sometimes. So we're going to finish crimping some fork ends on the end of these wires here. And my gosh, that was a very, very lot of copper. I should have trimmed that a lot shorter. Well, looks like I fixed that problem, and I fixed it to the distribution locks there, and a little tighty lefty, and everything. Hey, why are you taking it off? Oh, I see. Yeah, you got smarter now. You're only cutting off a little bit there. Okay, and ends look good, nice and clean. Note to self, when I build the second battery box, get yourself a really good crimper, because the wire stripper you got doesn't do a great job, and it's a right-handed only one, and you're a lefty. Well, let's reattach this. Go ahead. Nice. Put a little ugga-dugga on there. Make sure everything's nice and tight. And now to attach the red lead for power. Good job. There we go. One down. Only 8 more to go. So just plugging along here, making connections, running wire, following the leads, making sure everything looks nice and pretty. Things are looking good here. Not bad for the second connection. Okay, come on, next wire. Ooh, wow, he's already ahead of me. Well, looking good, but you kind of get the gist of it here, guys. Hopefully I don't have to go through at length telling you how to do all this, but looks like I'm plugging in the solar here. Oh, wow, we're way ahead of us. I should, stick to the script, my friend. Well, this is the solar power inputs for the Jenison. Nice and orderly. Good. And those are going straight to the output, or in this case, input for solar. Back to adding more to the distribution block here. Looks like we're hooking up the power to the Jenison controller here. Ran the connections there, nice and solid. Let's screw those down there, give it another ugga-dugga. This is the power for the Jenison controller. Oh, my favorite toy. This one. Oh, okay. Amateur hour here, my friends. Apparently, I'm getting too excited here. I picked myself up from Amazon a really good deal on a hydraulic crimper. It's a manual hand crimper, but this thing works wonders. This is just beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I know. You got to add power. Oh, also, we apparently just skipped this section, but you can see here, I went ahead and ran power from the cutoff switch up to the full 50 amp fuse there, and then ran that to the fuse block using 6 gauge. And apparently I'm now going through how to wire up this shunt here. Looking at this, there is a positive feed that's going to come off the distribution block for this, and then this cable itself goes to the Droke interface for power and battery reading and analysis. So
The only thing I really wish this thing actually had was a better way to mount it. We'll figure that solution out there and I'll show you what that looks like. Preliminary test here. I've got all of the cables and everything that I need to make sure is working hooked up properly. I fused everything that is fused, and off to my right here, which you can't see, I have my ATFT 891 plugged into a USB port, or sorry, into power pole port. And so before I go through the process here, I'm going to hook up the negative terminal to the battery and tighten that down here. And this battery hasn't been charged or anything from the factory, so it's as is. I don't know how much voltage it actually has left in it. I'm sure it's got some. And then we are going to connect the positive side here. And once we get this connected here, I should see no smoke first and foremost. Second thing is if I flip this to on, I've got my solar controller flashing here, so that's a good sign. I've got my battery meter coming up here. You can see the settings there. I have to tweak that a little bit so it knows what type of battery this is and is working here. And if I power on, I should see a fluctuation and change here of my 891. There we go. And we see it's drawing 13 volts. Obviously, I don't know exactly what's left in the battery. It says 19 amp hour, 0.19 amp hours, so I have to tweak this. So overall, everything looks like it's wired correctly. Everything's fused properly. The solar controller is happy, doing its thing. The Droke battery meter is picking up voltage. And if I just try to bring my 891 here in the picture, you can now see that I've got power to my 891. And so I think we're in good shape here. I now need to finalize two things. I need to clean up the cables. I need to build standoffs for the shunt, and then I can route the cables and mount the battery finally in the case. So let's do that. Well, this is my tough built battery box. I love this design. I love the fact that it was fun to build, and I was able to hopefully get everything I needed into what we'll call version 1. So what's next for it? Well, we're gonna take this out in the field. We're gonna try it out. We're gonna run it through its paces. We're gonna see what things need to be improved upon. I've already got some ideas in the back of my head as to what I want to do for future build, because we get into cold weather up here in the New England area, and so I'd like to be able to get this so it can withstand those freezing cold temps. I may add a few other additional power poles. I'm definitely kind of thinking, you know, additional battery capacity through like connectors and a few other things, but all that to come. So
Thanks again for sticking through till the end here, and hopefully this battery build inspired you to get out and do one of your own. And with that, thanks again for watching, and 7-3.